Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's late, but I didn't want to let today go by without doing a video. Again, we're following along with Sarah Breathnach in her book Simple Abundance. This is the year of 2020. It's August 2nd, and I knew if I didn't come on that I would just get behind in the days, and there's so many great August entries. So we'll see. I did sort of say I might come on every day. We'll see if that happens. Some days I just get really tired, but I had kind of a second wind and I thought, okay, I can do it. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for watching. So today's entry is called The Greatest Lessons Teach Us. No, sorry, I should put my glasses on. The gentlest lessons teach us the most. What do you think about that? There's a quote from Colette, only just noted as Colette. I don't know. That's it's a celebrated 20th century French author. I don't know, somebody that's just known by the one name. But she said, "What a wonderful life I've had. I only wished I'd realized sooner." I bet a lot of us can relate to that, right? It's all about gratitude. That's one of Sarah's principles. And sometimes we're just going through life on automatic pilot, or we're just like zombies just getting through, and we forget to realize that we've had some really great, amazing things happen to us. And they might even be happening around us at the present time, but we're just oblivious or we're not taking stock in them. So Sarah tells a story about earlier in her life when her husband and her young daughter went on a trip, and they got to ride an elephant one day. And when Sarah was tucking her daughter in for bed that night, she said something like, "See how amazing life is? Sometimes you wake up and you just don't even know what's going to happen, and you get to ride an elephant." And that is true. In fact, I think about Louise Hay's morning meditation that I listen to in the morning. And she does say, I don't remember the exact phrase, but something to the effect of, when we wake up, we never know what exciting blessings are in store for us. You know, we could have a good day or a bad day, but you wake up and you kind of know what your day's framework might be, but you don't know if you might get some amazing news, or just like she says in the entry title, this just might be something small. She calls it gentle, the gentlest lessons. It could be something really small, but it could be life-changing. And you could make a very small decision that ends up becoming a very momentous thing in your life too. I bet you can think of some things like that you didn't really consider to be life-changing decisions, or that you went down one path and then it just ended up changing everything. Can you think of something like that? Let's see what Sarah says. Oh, and then she goes on to tell us that when she came back from that trip where they had been able to ride the elephant, she had the opportunity to go to a conference. I don't remember the exact details. It was something about like writers' conference in another country. And she was like making all these excuses like, "Oh, I can't go. We just came back from vacation," and stuff like that. And her husband just sort of said quietly like, "Oh, you're not gonna ride the elephant?" So that was kind of like her own words coming back to be spoken from someone else's mouth. And so she did end up going on the trip, and she said it ended up being the most amazing thing that she'll never forget. And she just needed that little nudge, that was just sort of a gentle reminder from something that she had actually said that her husband just regurgitated back to her. But it was life-altering, because I don't know if she ended up making tons of connections, but she did say it was one of the most delightful weeks of my life, is what she says in the entry. And she goes on to say, "If we are willing to learn our lessons gently, they patiently await us in countless ways. Today, try listening to the wisdom of children, accepting the loving kindness of a friend, reaching out to those in need, asking a colleague for advice, acting on your intuition, laughing at your foibles and frailties, and accepting them with love. Observing how your pets live so contentedly in the present moment. Rediscovering the surprising healing power of spontaneity. Focusing on the good in any situation you are now encountering. Expecting the best of every day and realizing what a wonderful life you're living sooner rather than later. Just like that quote. And I have a cat that's going back and forth. She hasn't said anything yet, but you do remember that I made that video back in March when the COVID shutdowns here in the United States started, and I was really noticing how I live with this other my companion, another being, I guess, another life force, and we were both, well, she doesn't know what's going on, but we were both having the same day. And here I was, all just bottled up with like, what's gonna happen, and my life is just gonna explode, you know. And then meanwhile, all she cared about was just the sun was coming in, and she was rolling around, and I was petting her, and she was so happy and purring. And so Sarah does mention to sort of look at your pets and see that they are probably little reminders too about maybe not taking life so seriously and savoring the small things like that sun coming through the window. So I like all those things that she just listed out. There were a lot of them. Focusing on the good in any situation. Rediscovering the surprising healing power of spontaneity. Yeah. So the riding an elephant could have been a spontaneous thing. I can't remember. She didn't really go into the details of like how the riding of the elephant came about. Maybe that was something they just decided to do at the last minute. So the trip that she was talking herself out of was a bit spontaneous. It was spontaneous. That's the word. Sometimes I make up words, or sometimes when I'm watching my videos back, I notice that I don't complete every word, but I hope that you understand what I'm saying half the time. Like I said, I try not to re-record. I will only re-record if something major happens, like the camera falls or something, and I've only had to re-record once or twice. Actually, there was one time I thought I hit record and the whole thing didn't get recorded, so I had to re-record. Now I make sure that I see the counter going in the top. So Sarah closes this entry by saying, of course, the unexpected often catches us by surprise, but if we are open to if we are open to and grateful for gentle lessons, new teachers will appear in our path. Serendipity can instruct us as much as sorrow. That's true too. She does, I didn't read the beginning, but it does tie in with what she said at the beginning. All of us know about learning life's lessons through pain, struggle, and loss, but few of us realize that it is often the gentlest lessons that teach us the most. So yeah, we definitely learn, grow through pain, and sometimes we're forced to heal just because we're faced with something that's just so painful, and we can't even function unless we heal, right? But on the flip side, there is the gentle lessons and the words from a child. She mentioned that too. Some things that can just change your perspective or give you someone else's perspective that causes you to think and consider that. So what do you guys think about this entry with the gentle reminders? I agree with her that it doesn't have to be some life-altering thing to really change and grow and make decisions. It can be small things, and it can be reminders from other people, even of things that you yourself said, like that situation with the elephant. I hope tomorrow you wake up and you think of this one, if you're watching tonight, and you think, you could ride an elephant. You never know what the day is going to bring. I'm going to always remember that. And I have been, speaking of that, thinking of so many things from these past few entries. On a daily basis, there seems to be a serendipitous thing that will happen that will take me back to something that we were talking about from Sarah's book. Like, the more I've been thinking about the last entry with the harmonic convergence, which I kept wanting to say the wrong word, but the harmonic convergence, the more I've been thinking about the word alignment also. And you know, my Abraham Hicks connection there. So because I was listening to an Abraham Hicks recording just this morning, and I thought alignment is totally the harmonic convergence of your authentic self, because you're aligning with your soul. So I didn't really think of that when I was saying that last night, but that came together for me this morning. And then also in this same video that I was watching, Abraham was bringing through a message that when you have fear and doubt, again, like that dissonance that I was just talking about yesterday, that is good. It's okay to have the dissonance. It's a part of the symphony, if I tie it into what I said last night, because it shows you whether you're on the path or not. And it shows you how you feel about various things. So if you're trying to make a decision and one way of it feels terrible and the other way feels good, then that is telling you right there your soul is the good. Like, so follow the good. Lead with the heart, like we talked about. So anyway, so many things come to me after we have these talks, and then there's usually something within the week that I will be like, oh my God, I was just saying that. Like, there was the week that we talked about True North. I had some random YouTube inspirational thing coming on, and then they started to talk about True North. So I love serendipity, and it's definitely happening for me. And maybe that means that I'm having a harmonious convergence of my soul, because all these things around me are happening. So maybe there'll be an elephant ride for me in the near future. I doubt it, but I don't know how I'd feel about that anyway, but it would be unique. I would love to go on African safari someday. That would be really cool. Okay, I'm rambling and it's late, so good night. I will see you on the next video, potentially tomorrow. We'll see. Imagine if I did one every single day in August. I kind of set that up, so we'll see. I love talking to you guys. It always energizes me, and I really look forward to your feedback and comments, and you have the best things to say, and I love the way that the videos are touching your lives also. So definitely leave me a comment, and I will see you next time. Thanks again for watching.